Chicky yo yo yo, peace was good. Welcome to another hip hop album review. This is part 292, the review that you guys been waiting for, highly anticipated. We're gonna get up with Noreaga with his second album, Melvin Flynt, The Hustler, released in 1999. You guys should know who Nori is. I did a review on his first album, solo debut album, the NRE album, Niggas on the Run Eatin'. I did that last week, so I appreciate all the comments that people complain about his rapping, like that. We all know that, we all know that Nori's not the best MC in the world. He don't claim to be. He's just a street nigga that just happened to rap, but he's entertaining to listen to, and he raps over some dope ass beats. And the War Report and NRE are prime examples of that. All right, so right after the release of the NRE album, enjoying its success, he's worked with Big Pun, a couple of Nature, just all the the familiar acts, back in like '98. So he was kind of like a rising star that year because that was a dope year that year, man. Like you had DMX with his first two albums, Flesh My Flesh, Blood on My Blood, It's Dark, Hell Is Hot, Jay-Z with Hard Knock Life, Big Pun with Capital Punishment. You know what I mean? So Nori was enjoying his looms at that time. You know what I'm saying? Pause. So now we're gonna get into this album. So the title itself, Melvin Flynt, The Hustler. So the name Melvin, he got that from the character from the movie As Good as It Gets with Robin Williams, the late great Robin Williams. May he rest in peace. He got that from that, and then Flynt, Larry Flynt, The Hustler. Larry Flynt, the porn connoisseur and that kind of thing with the Hustler magazines, among other stuff. May he rest in peace as well. So that's how he got that. So Melvin Flynt. So that's where he got that name, that alter ego from Nori. So so this album spawned two singles. The singles include Blood Money Part 3, which there is a video for. There is a Blood Money Part 2 that was actually on the Ride soundtrack that came out the year prior, '98. That movie with Fredro Starr. And then the next single is Oh No, featuring the Neptunes, or it's produced by Neptunes. Alright, so let's get into the album. So this is what the album looks like. A very young Nori, him suited up, pretty dope. Got the back of the left rack projects right behind them. All those are just, they're considered project, they're considered co-ops. But pretty good, pretty dope. Another thing too that I don't know if people know, but there is an alternative cover of that, where you'll see like Nori, he's wearing like a black army jacket, and he's wearing a beanie, and I'll show you that right now. I'm actually on Discogs. I put it on just to show you. So that's what it looks like. Really dope. And I've only known one person she had that version. It was a dude that I used to hang out back in the day, and I don't hang out with him no more. You know what I'm saying? But hope all is well with him. But but he was the only one that had that one that I seen, and I want to get my hands on that copy, but almost kind of hard to find. And things these days, CDs go out of print like it's no tomorrow. But I think that version, it shouldn't be too hard to find. But now let's get into it. So like I said, Nori suited up. That's the alternative cover. Left rack sheet in the background, in the back, pretty cool. Open the CD. Alright, nothing too crazy. This is a generic, the lettering, the silver case, silver lining. And then you see a very beautiful picture of his pops. May he rest in peace. Alright. Yes, sir. Alright. Everybody's seen this picture before. It's been floating on the internet. I remember seeing that a lot back in the day. So that's what this picture came from. Alright. So open it up. Alright. Pretty dope. Alright, pretty cool. And then got the gear, you know what I'm saying? Pretty cool. And then once again, just like the NRE albums, the same thing. You know, the Mussolini and Maze album, Golden Eyes, that never came out. And then and this time they changed the title. Because on the NRE album it said the Next of Kin album, but this time it says Pain, Time, and Glory, which ended up coming out back in 2005, which I do have. I'm gonna be real with you, that album was really not that good. I might do a review on that. Depends on how I feel. And then you got the reunion album that was supposed to drop the next year in 2000. With obviously it's a different album cover, but obviously that showed you that they didn't have the artwork yet. It was just like it's like a work in progress kind of thing. So, all right. So now I already spoke on the singles. Now let's get into the features of the album. The features include Maze, Mussolini and Maze, Khalees, God, who else? Missy Elliott, Mussolini, Final Chapter, Scarlett O'Harlem, Final Chapter, Troy Outlaw, who else? Juvenile, Lil Wayne, Mussolini, Mace, and Goldfingers. Yes, Juvenile and Lil Wayne of Cash Money fame. So, which shows he was the first MC from the East Coast to collab with somebody from the South. So I thought that was pretty cool. Now let's get into the producers. My favorite features include Easy LP, very dope producer, very underrated. SPK. Whatever happened to SPK, man? Like, we got, SPK, you gotta put out some stuff, man. Like, we gotta hear some shit from you. Trackmasters, Neptunes, Easy LP I mentioned before, Swiss Beats, SPK I mentioned before, Sugar Bear, Trackmasters I mentioned before, SPK, Neptunes I mentioned before, Manny Fresh, and SPK. Alright? So those are the producers. Now, let's get into the meat and potatoes, the breakdown of some of the songs, Alright. First track is intro. It's kind of like a skit, about maybe like 3.5 minutes long. It's called Hospital / Funeral Intro. It's a pretty cool track. So the first segment is called Hospital. It's where he's at St. John's Hospital, which actually it was in Queens Boulevard, but they actually got they closed its doors. They got shut down, went out of business back in 2003, and that's little sidebar, but that's where my father died back in '94 due to his loss of battle of cancer. So yes, I had to throw that out there. But yeah, St. John's Hospital, and then but little sidebar, so I do apologize about that, but I just had to throw that in there. But yeah, so the hospital scene is where he just received his kids, his 2 kids. He recently got 2 kids there, that kind of thing. He was just celebrating life and that kind of thing. So he had a son and a daughter. They were both born 5 days apart. So I thought that was pretty interesting, him celebrating. And then it goes to the funeral intro, to where he buried his father. And then he goes to his father's grave, and then he just speaks on how, my father, I just got a new album. I just dropped my first album. I'm, making it. Just giving himself props and showing that I made it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep doing this rap shit. That kind of thing. So that was pretty cool, man. So that was a pretty interesting intro track. So that's track 1, Hospital / Funeral Intro. Let me get a swig of water. Alright. Track 2, Sometimes, featuring Maze. One of my favorite tracks of the album. Probably one of the best songs of the album, in my personal opinion. Featuring Maze. Me personally, I think this should have been a single. This song was actually also featured on the Belly soundtrack. So it was featured on the Belly soundtrack first, because that came out in '98. And then he put that on the album. So that was pretty cool. And that was produced by Easy LP. Love that track. So what I got from this track is the saying that is known today, life be lifin'. That's that song sometimes, you know what I'm saying? He just talks about how life be hard and that kind of thing. How people sometimes don't have his back. People that you think is their friend, is your friends, they're not there for you. That kind of thing. You kind of like you're battling this life shit alone. That kind of thing. It's like you born alone, die alone, and that's the vibes I got from that song. But I love it, man. That again, that should have been a single. But I do like the line when he said, "But y'all niggas ain't here. Can't believe this shit. Don't you always be here? Don't we always be a clique? But y'all niggas not here no more. It ain't fair no more. Sometimes I get stressed and kick the door. But I maintain still holding in the pain. My pops had to go while he couldn't sustain." That's deep right there, man. So fucking dope. So that was track 2, sometimes featuring Maze. You could tell that, Nori, he kind of improved on the lyrics and that kind of thing. And I know somebody in the last video review said that Nas wrote some of his songs or whatever the case may be. But either way, it's more so how you deliver it for me. But you can't call yourself the best MC if you have people writing your rhymes. That's my thing with that. So now we're gonna get to the third track, Gangsta's Watch. Another one of my favorite tracks as well. Love the beat for it. Fucking dope. This just screams Queens to the fullest, man. I just get like niggas on the block clocking in the projects. You know what I'm saying? It's raining. Niggas rocking in fucking Columbia jackets, and they're in the project bench and shit. They still selling, crack and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Selling weight and all that. That's the vibes I get. They got the S500, got the LS400, the GS4, the GS300, and all that. So that's the vibes I get from that song. Love that shit, man. I like the line when he said, "I'm a fiend that gotta have the hydro green, flip on hoes, bitches try to say I'm mean, stuck up, ayo, chain gleam down to my nuts, buying some kids some Chris, never buy no cups, I thought I told y'all putos, straight sucios, my niggas buy guns and sell them to the studios, shooting in the hood like where I'm at, it's too hot out there, can't we go to Iraq, police knowing what the what went down, the cat done rat." Whew, fire, love that. So that was track 3, Gangsta's Watch. Track 4, The Hustler, featuring Mussolini and Maze. I did not care for this track, particularly the beat. I didn't really get anything out of it. It was kind of a weak track. Didn't care for it. Now we're gonna get to track 5, Cocaine Business Hysteria, featuring Khalees. So the hook on this track was done by Khalees. That was their interpolation of BDP's Illegal Business. So, and if you listen to Hook, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you've heard that album, By Any Means Necessary, back in the 80s, it's a classic album. I did a review on all 5 BDP albums. If you guys haven't checked out, please check that out. I thought I killed it. I love that shit. But it's pretty much talking about the same thing. I didn't really like, again, it's, sort of about, selling weight and that kind of thing. I thought it was okay beat. I wasn't crazy about the beat too much, but I do like the line by Nori when he says, "Now I just gotta be Ghost. I gave my niggas a pound and then I just handed them the toast. The limo driver got scared and tried to bounce on me, and besides the heat, I had 1 ounce on me. I had an ounce on me. Bulletproof vest feeling like a couch on me." Fucking dope. So that was track 5. Oops. Cocaine Business. Alright. Track 6, The Pigeon. This is a funny ass skit right here. It just shows about how pigeons are gangsters. They don't give a fuck. They'll just straight shit on you, which is true. Especially like when you just wash your car, they'll shit on your car and you have to wash your car again. Just don't give a fuck. Yeah, so so that was pretty funny. We listened to it, like you'll laugh your ass off with that one. So that's track 6, The Pigeon. Track 7, The Blood Money Part 3. This is the second and final single of the album. There was a video for it. I wasn't crazy about the beat. I thought the beat was kind of weak, especially for Easy LP standards, in my personal opinion. But I do like the line when he said, "All my analog thugs and digital thugs, for my people that be rattled with weed in the clubs, for my knives and 4/5, Bloods and Crips, for my people who smoke Phillies and know it splits, and to the niggas on the block that rock my shit, to the crackhead waking up the cops and shit, for all the liquor stores that ain't no good, to all the stacked ones everywhere that be in the hood, for all my people on welfare, don't even care, for all the people getting money, living on Bel Air. Fucking dope. So that was track 7, Blood Money again. I didn't care for the beat, but I do like the videos. I feel like the video makes the song better, if that makes sense. It's like one of those things. So yeah. So we're gonna go to track 8, We Thugged Out, featuring Missy Elliott, or when she went by Missy Misdemeanor Elliott. Yeah, I'm glad she dropped the Missy. It's very 90s, but it kind of dates yourself, so that kind of thing. We Thugged Out, one of my favorite tracks of the album. I like the line by Nori when he says, first it was Wallabies, yo, and then came Bally's, then it was Tahoes, now it's them shits is Denali's. I'm Nore. When I'm not a skeek, I'm not a sky cat. So therefore, you put your own shit in the back. No, you see me style out. You see me foul out. You see my album took long, I wild out. And to my dog, with new whips that's faking, them cats who don't pay no tax like Kirk Franklin. In LA, I'm rimmed up and all Dayton. That was cool. That's one thing about Nori. Like, again, he's like all over with the lyrics, but it just sounds dope. But it sounds better when he says it. Obviously, when I say it, it sounds like all over the place. But when he says it, it's like sounds cool. So that's why I wrote that. So I thought it was pretty cool. All right, so we got track 9, Going Legit. That was produced by SPK, featuring Mussolini. I thought that was a dope track. Mussolini is just on the chorus, so which is sad because I would have loved for him to have a track, a line on that song. But I do like the line by Nori when it says, I used to live in 5E by the drug house. It was a rain and all we got paid. We all got paid. Cause when the crack house closed, you open your stage. Yellow bags and green tops. I got me rocks selling crack, buying out all the weed spots. Fucking dope. So that was track 9, Going Legit. Track 10, Real or Fake Niggas, featuring Final Chapter. I wasn't too crazy about the beat or the song, so I could have done without that song, honestly. That's usually like a skip for me. Alright. Now we're gonna go to track 11, What the Fuck Is Up, featuring Scarlett O'Harlem. I thought it was an okay track. That was produced by Trackmasters. The beat was okay, but I do like the line by Nori when he says, I wrote Queens, whoever they say they are. USA, niggas think I'm Mexican. They asking is USA. I'm like Chrome Pirelli, your first class, you be coach shit. While your factor be in, it's on some coke shit. Yo, it's still high up on Washington Heights. They ain't got no elevators, gotta walk up flights. Ayo, the drug game is sour, plus it's limited power. You get the coke, man, nigga, give me like an hour. Y'all, I'll bail rough like the Knicks against Utah. Ayo, I'm going subtile. Tiger Bone let the juice bar. Man. Again, like, he's like all over the place, but it sounds dope when he says it, so that's what I wrote that shit. But yeah, that was a dope track. Track 11, What the Fuck Is Up. I didn't care for Scarlett or Harlem. She didn't really do anything for me. She sounded like a fake Foxy Brown, like a low budget, Foxy Brown. Didn't care for her. Track 12 is First Day Home. That was produced by SPK. I didn't write any lyrics for this one, but what I got from that track is pretty much, when you get home from jail, you on parole, and it talks about the process of going through, parole, that, you have to be on good behavior, you have to curfew, you have to visit your PO, make sure, when you pee, you piss clean, that kind of thing. So, he just pretty much talks about that. So that's what I got from that track. Shout out to track 12, First Day Home. Track 13, The Tunnel. It's just a skit. It's just Nori and his crew. He's like 50 deep or 30 deep, whatever the case may be. The bouncers giving him a hard time because of the amount of people that he brought with him. And you know, with clubs, you know, there's only so much people you could bring into the group, into the club, just based off of safety purposes and the capacity, and just fire hazards and that kind of things like that. But you know, when you from the hood, you don't care about that. You want to just bring your mans on, and that's pretty much what that was. So you know, the bouncers giving him a hard time and that kind of thing. Recipes to the tunnel. All right, so that was track 13, the tunnel. Track 14, Hold Me Down featuring Final Chapter and Troy Outlaw. That was a pretty cool track. I like the line by Nori when he says, "Sprung niggas out in the hood with us. Yo, when we do shows, we suck out the hood with us. I know you love that. See us on stage all drunk with the thug hat. Might check so much Henny Moet that be on the wheels. Cutting up the streets. The niggas bring the gas still just to keep a rep. So don't disrespect so you won't see the tech." Whoo, fire. So that was track 14, Hold Me Down. Track 15, If You Want It, produced by SBK. That was another cool track right there. I like the line by Nori when he says, "Man, listen, I'm just trying to glisten. You're fresh off parole, just straight out of prison. Get a green in the crib. Yo, try to revive me, huh? Every day when I'm feeling grimy." Oh my God. These lines, man. Jesus Christ. So that was track 15, If You Want It. Track 16, Oh No. Man, that song, I never liked this song. This was the first single off the album. And Jesus Christ. This is horrible. I hated this song then, and I hate it even now. It's that bad. Oh no, oh no, no, oh no, no. Like, come on, man. Like, come on. You could tell he didn't have creative control making that song. That was all Pharrell hyping his ass up, cause you know Nori's on the come up, and then he's like, "Oh, trust me, you can." That's that. I can already see that studio. Trust me, it's gonna go big. I'm telling you. Just oh no, no. He's just hyping him up. I can already see that, man, and that was not good. I hated it. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Like, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Track 17, Play That Shit. Featuring Juvenile, Lil Wayne, Mussolini, and Mace and Goldfingers. Did not really care for this song. I did like the beat, but I do feel like it did not fit the album. Just the whole vibe of the album, it didn't fit the album. I do appreciate the fact that, you know, Nori was the first MC from the East Coast to collab with somebody from the South, per se. But I just feel like on this album, and it's dope that he put it on the album, but to me it didn't fit the album. I think it would have been more suitable for like like the Guerrilla Warfare, or like one of the solo albums, like from like Lil Wayne, like the Black. It could have been dope on Black is Hot, or the G Code by Juvenile or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It could have been dope on that album, on those albums, but not on this album. It just didn't really fit. So it didn't really fit the flow of the album. And then we got track 18. Track 18, Flagrant Cops. Flagrant Cops. Can't even talk today. That was produced by SBK. That was a pretty decent beat right there. I do like the line when he says, "But damn, yo, nigga just shot a cup. Pig's blood on my clothes. Pig's blood on my Glock. But they just shot a black man 41 times. I'ma do Diallo. He had no gat. I got my murder rhymes. What you think they would have done? They see mine. The chick out of control while screaming and yelling. I told her to chill before we get a felon." Fucking dope shit right there. So that was track 18, Flagrant Cops. And then the last track, 19, Animal Thugs Goes Hollywood skit. If you guys watched my NRE album last week, you guys should know what Animal Thug is. He's a cat from Iraq. Just a neighborhood cat from the block, that kind of thing. He's like, I guess what God Bless the Kid Joe would be from Necro. Pretty much the same thing. Animal Thug trying to extort people for money, that kind of thing. But he loves them. He tried to show people money for a crazy amount of money, like $1,000, then $5,000. You owe me $5,000. Yeah, I need you to give me $5,000 now. But I love you, man. So it's like shit like that. So it was funny, but that kind of thing. The verdict of this album, oh my god, it is a complete 180 compared to this his self-titled album. This album was not that good, man. It has its moments, but it's not a very memorable album. I can't even tell Nori don't even fuck with this album. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna ruin it, but I'll explain when I do the next project, which you guys should probably know by now. Well, I'm not gonna spoil it, but I think you guys kind of get the idea. But yeah, this album was like all over the place. You could tell lyrically he was all over the place. Even though like the lines stuck out, they were funny and they were kind of bizarre but funny at the same time. But it was just like all over the place, man. You could tell he didn't have his head straight. And you know what? His father had just died, and he made an album. And it's just my mind would be fucked up. And when you're in the music business, you get pressured, so you don't have the creative control. You have contracts, so you have to fulfill the album's contracts, that kind of thing. Otherwise, you get let go by the record label, and then you owe money, and it's like a student loan. So I think this was pretty much like a compromise album. That's the vibes I got from this album. I just felt like he didn't have creative control. He just put the album out just to put it out, and it shows on this album. Yeah, I could have. I don't want to say I could have done without the album. It was important that he did the album. It just wasn't good. I don't know, man. That's just, yeah. It's just, it was all over the place, man. I feel like the singles were also the problem too. I think sometimes should have been a single. Me personally, I would have kept Blood Money Part 3 as a single, but of the oh no, like no, fuck that song, yeah, fuck that song. But I understand because Neptunes, they were on the come up. They were like the hottest thing in the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s. So record labels, why not? Why not put out Oh No as a single? So, but yeah, Melvin, Flynt, Noreaga, The Hustler. Let me know what you guys think. Yeah, subscribe, like, comment, peace.